This is a terrorist act, specifically designed to disrupt the entire negotiation process. It is directed not only personally against President Putin, but it is also clearly aimed against Trump. It is intended to disrupt the efforts made by President Trump in order to promote a peaceful resolution.
What Russia is calling a failed drone attack has triggered one of the sharpest escalations in weeks. The Kremlin says President Vladimir Putin's residence was targeted and that the timing was no coincidence. Moscow now claims the strike was meant to sabotage peace efforts involving Washington, and within hours, Russia signaled a shift from words to weapons. The Kremlin says Ukraine launched a long-range drone attack toward President Vladimir Putin's residence in northwestern Russia. Kyiv denies the claim, but Moscow insists the message was clear and personal. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov called it a terrorist act aimed not just at Putin, but at the peace process itself. He said the alleged strike was intended to derail U.S. President Donald Trump's efforts to broker a settlement in Ukraine.
This is a terrorist act, specifically designed to disrupt the entire negotiation process. It is directed not only personally against President Putin, but it is also clearly aimed against Trump. It is intended to disrupt the efforts made by President Trump in order to promote a peaceful resolution to the ongoing Ukrainian conflict. I don't think there should be any evidence here if such a massive drone attack he carried out, especially when, thanks to the clearly well-coordinated work of our air defense, they were all shot down. As for the debris, I can't really comment on that. That's more of a natural concern for our military personnel. And I know that naturally we see that Zelensky himself is trying to deny this, and many Western media outlets playing along with the Kyiv regime are starting to push the narrative that supposedly this never happened. But that is a completely insane, utterly insane assertion. The negotiating position will change. It will shift towards a tougher stance. And as for the military consequences, our military, they know how to respond, what kind of words to use, and when.
According to Russian officials, the incident unfolded overnight under cover of darkness. 91 long-range drones were launched toward the Novgorod region, home to Putin's country residence. Russia says all drones were intercepted, no casualties, no damage. But Moscow argues the scale and timing made it an unmistakable signal. President Putin later told Donald Trump that the attempt occurred shortly after Trump spoke with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Florida. Zelensky rejected the allegation outright. He called it another Russian fabrication designed to manipulate negotiations. The Kremlin responded angrily, dismissing the denial as completely insane. Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov escalated the rhetoric further, labeling the incident a terrorist attack and warning that Russia's response would not be limited to statements or talks. Lavrov's message was blunt: diplomacy has limits. Moscow says repeated attacks, real or alleged, are changing the rules of engagement, and the Kremlin made clear that consequences would follow. On Tuesday, Russia's defense ministry released footage confirming the Oreshnik medium-range ballistic missile system has been placed on combat duty in Belarus. The ceremony was deliberate. Flags raised, missile crews deployed, strategic rocket forces units assuming full operational posture. The video shows mobile launchers being transported, concealed, and positioned. Communications, security, and power units move into place. According to Moscow, the system is now fully operational, conducting patrols and combat readiness drills across newly assigned zones. With peace talks under strain and military signals growing louder, Moscow's message is unmistakable. Any attempt to pressure Russia, it says, will be met with force, not persuasion. As negotiations hang in the balance, the battlefield language is returning to center stage.